back again. Birds are up flying. Much nicer day today, a bit cooler. Hopefully the birds will work a bit better, but we'll see how we go. Getting pretty close now. We've got one more free weekend before we start racing, so yeah, it's been tough. We'll see how these birds do go. I would have liked to have got them on a lot more tosses, but time and obviously the few issues we've had along the way haven't made it easier, but they do seem to be flying reasonably well around the loft, and hopefully we'll get them out again on the weekend. So we've got Saturday, Sunday, hopefully get them back out. I might just bring them back to 10 kilometres. I don't know if I can take another hit like last weekend, because we lost like 4 or 5 birds in one toss, and we got about 3, 4 that were injured on the way back. So if I do that both days on Saturday and Sunday, that could be potentially another 10 birds gone. Not them saying it will happen, but it is pretty common at the moment. 50% of the tosses have been good, the other 50% have been really bad, like the weekend where we lose a lot of birds, and then we have birds that are half their wings missing and stuff like that. So yeah, we're just going to have to battle on now, and 2 more short tosses at 10 kilometres, loft flying every day until the first race, and then hopefully just get them on the truck with the other birds, and hopefully they can blend in with the numbers, and hopefully other people's birds can be covered, because my bird's been copping the blunt end of it this season. So we'll see. So we'll see. You know, we can plan as much as we want, but unfortunately all good plans sometimes come unstuck. So we'll keep moving along. What I need to do today, well, it's not much time in the afternoon anyway, is open up this box, lock these ones in there, just because that cockbird there, he is an absolute pain. If he wasn't as well bred as he is, and I would have a little bit less tolerance for him, but I've got to give him half a chance. So we'll see how we go. But at the moment, we haven't really got any more eggs. I know Leo and the street fighter hen have laid 1 egg, which is really good to see. Hopefully that hen will lay 2 eggs. Last time she only had 1 that was fertile. And I've noticed that someone has dropped an egg down there too, so I'm really hoping it wasn't Storm. I really hope it isn't. It's a bit of a pain, but don't know what's going on. It's always a bit of ups and downs there in the beginning, but most of the pairs seem to be doing reasonably well. This hen, 2 eggs. She's a nice little hen, this one. And hopefully I would have liked eggs out of these 2, but it doesn't look like that is going to happen anytime soon, because I think the egg dropped on the floor might be from this pair, because I don't think any are as close to laying. 2 eggs in here. Hopefully on the weekend I'll go through and candle them all, and still waiting on eggs for this one. May get some eggs out of these 2, but we don't really know. I will need to lock them up shortly when I do some feeding. And then big Leo let's zoom in a bit more. The big boy's got a little baby under there. Hopefully it's fertile. The old boy is he's getting old, but he's still feeling quite well, so hopefully he produces a really good little baby like he did. The little bluebird hen that I've got that's got the throat ripped out, she's out of this pairing, and she's one really tough little baby, so hopefully we get the similar kind of little baby back out of it. So, you know, but with the breeders, I'm not like too really concerned about pumping out heaps of numbers. I'll just sort of put a few pairs together that I really like and just get a round or 2 out of them, but we'll just see. Like hopefully they will be a new team for later on the year. I know a couple of people have commented on the yellow team. If you do remember, the yellow team was bred, some of those were bred for stock, but I wanted to make sure some of those went out to at least 20 kilometers a couple of times, which a couple of them have. Well, most of them actually have, apart from one we've lost, so he's gone. But that was their main purpose. They were bred from 83 back to the mother pairing, and they were for that purpose, to sort of keep that gene pool pretty strong. So that's why there is a couple hens in there that do have the yellow rings on it. You know, if I am going to try and breed something for stock, I at least want to toss it out to 20 kilometers, because if it can last that long here, then it's generally going to be reasonably good, at least to get it out to the season, because it's pretty tough. Just waiting for these birds to come down. I'm happy just for the half an hour after work, because I need to go cook some dinner soon. It's my turn tonight, so I need to go start that shortly, and hopefully they'll come down. But I don't know where they've gone. Oh, there they are. They're starting to hang around a bit here. Look here, they look. So I might get them in shortly. There's just some that want to stay out a bit longer. So basically the race season this year, we're only doing the sprint season. We're going to do 4 races in that sprint because our club stops as soon as we go to the longer races. So we'll do those 4 and then hopefully basket birds for 2 races in sprint 1 and sprint 2 on that. And we don't do the longer races, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll see how we go in the following season. If I get annihilated this season, because the birds haven't had a lot of time to prepare because of the falcons really not letting us loft fly at all, then I don't know how. Realistically, my aim, I want to race the year after in the longer ones, but if we get smashed in this season and only make a couple of races, then I might not look at racing that following season. It's just a real pain, to be honest. I feel like the older birds are doing pretty well. The younger ones, we've lost most of them. They're the larger number of losses. We've still lost a few of the old ones, no worries about that. But yeah, it's just really tough. Unless I don't know, I don't have an answer for it. It just seems to be a lot harder out here than what it really needs to be. And the birds, I'm definitely putting a lot of work into them, but we need to brainstorm a little bit more on how we can circumvent all the obstacles in being out in this position. So we will see. I am still leaning towards doing a lot more one lofting. That's more of an interest for me, but throwing birds into the meat grinder like we are at the moment, it's a bit tough because, you know, I love my pigeons. They're the local Australian ringneck parrots, and generally when they make that noise they're a bit spooked, so I don't know if the falcon's around. It could be any type of birds of prey. Yeah, we'll just see how we progress. The only other option really for us probably next year is if we're breeding some older birds, give them a lot more time to mature. And I was thinking today actually at work, I was like, oh, maybe we need to jump them out a bit more and try and get out of basically the 25-kilometre radius from where my house is. That is where we lose the most birds because it is countryside. A lot of the power lines you'll see, phone towers, are really good spots for falcons to be nesting and waiting. So I think next year, along with running older birds, we kind of really need to look at jumping the birds out. So we might just go first toss 10 kilometres and then we might have to go 20 and then just jump right out and try and get away from the 10 to 20 and that 30-kilometre sort of area really quickly, because that's where we're losing birds. And I remember last year, once we got past that, we didn't really lose any birds until we went on to the longer races. We lost most of them in that smaller distance, and we had a lot of birds last year that got ripped apart too. So at the moment I'm trying to just think of all these different options, and I'm just talking to you guys with it so you kind of understand where we're at. Like, we just got to try and get past the few issues that we've got here. And, you know, fair enough, you can probably remove the falcon from around here. I don't really want to do that. But between here and 30 kilometres, there's probably like 5 or 6, 7, 8, who knows how many more falcons. So it's really taken the enjoyment out of keeping pigeons, to be honest. What's going on at the moment. So that's why it's really annoying me, to be honest. But we'll keep chugging along. And I'll keep thinking too. Right, I think that's enough time. Might just drop this flag down and take this box out of the way. Just trying to, that's all I'm saying is, mainly now I'm just going to focus on this season, trying to get through the best we can. Try not to lose too many more birds, because we all know how hard it is losing birds. We spend so much time, you know, preparing almost the 12 months with some of these babies and the pairings and all that kind of preparing. And it's just a little bit disheartening when we just lose so many birds. At this point in time, we're probably at 50% of the birds. We've lost 50% just between here and 22 kilometres. Some young, but the falcons 50% of the time of those tosses just been hammering them so bad. So put some comments down below. Training techniques. I need ideas from you guys from all over the world. Some people have it easy, some people have a lot tougher than me. So I want to listen to all those comments and see if I can piece together something a bit of a plan. Realistically, we need to be able to get the birds, well, we need to find someone with really good homing instincts that we can get on the road pretty quickly. We need to be able to jump out past 20 kilometers quickly, and then hopefully next year, if we do it, we need to get the birds onto the truck, I think, with the rest of them, and hopefully the falcons eat everyone else's pigeons, not mine. So, yeah, she's been a rough one. There's a lot of birds in there that have come back and are out of action. A lot of them have got back up flying again too. There's probably 10, around about 10 or so up there still that have recovered and they are loft flying back in the tosses again. And I noticed one of the older birds that come back from the last toss, he's only got 2 tail feathers, so there's just little things like that slip through the cracks. You're like, oh yeah, they're getting it pretty tough out there. So put some comments down below, let me know all your ideas. It's more around the training. How are we going to get these birds as babies out onto that truck and try and keep as many as we can in the race team until then.